Thank you, Father Yahuwah, for your word. Thank you for giving us the words to say to comfort your people. Thank you for letting us only say what you would have us to say, Father Yahuwah. Thank you for your bread of life, for your living water. Thank you for the sacrifice you made for us by sending us your son Yahusha, who laid his life down willingly for us and took the punishments for our sins upon himself. We love you, Father Yahuwah. We love you, Yahusha. We love you, Ruach HaKodesh. Shalom, shalom. So I'm back to read, last time I read Baruch 1, Baruch Sheniy. And that was Baruch crying out for forgiveness he was crying out for forgiveness for Yasharel because of their idol worship. These are our forefathers. So he was crying out to Yahuwah for forgiveness for them for their idol worship, worshiping false deities. And idol worship is worshiping what you've created yourself, things that are created by man's hands. And there's also deities that people worship, which are essentially fallen angels and demons. So there's only one creator of the whole world, and it's not the universe, because the universe is a created thing. It's not Nimrod, because he was a created man. Yahuwah created him as well. It's not all the deities that he set up in the land to worship because it's Yahuwah that created man's mind, and whatever we think, whatever thoughts we come up with, can only be manifested if Yahuwah says it's okay. So, yeah. Yahuwah is one. And you shall love Yahuwah with all your heart, all your mind, all your soul, all yourself. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. Baruch atah, Yahuwah Elohim. Yahuwah Elohim. Yahuwah, our Elohim. Yahuwah is one. So, but anyway, so he was crying out for forgiveness and for Yahuwah to raise up and help us. And that's cycles. That's what the children of Israel, Yasharel, did all throughout the Bible. Is we would be faithful to Yahuwah for a time under certain leaders, and then we would go back to idol worship and all the customs of the other nations. We'd go back to following the customs of the other nations. So, and then once they started to oppress us because of us walking away and turning our backs on Yahuwah and trying to mix the clean with the unclean, which is one of his biggest things that he hates. He abhors that when we try to worship him the way the other nations worship their gods. Because that's one thing he says to us. He says, do not worship me the way the other nations worship their gods, because they do abominable and detestable things in worship to him, things that he never required us to do. But in the nations that we become scattered to, we want to fit in. We want to do what the nations do. And so that's how we fall into idol worship. Because he said he didn't choose us because we're a righteous people and because we're, something special in the earth. The only thing that makes us special is him, is because he chose us. Because he chose us. And, he chose us to spread his word. He chose us to teach the other nations how to worship him. Instead, we join in with the other nations and do what they say to do. So in Baruch Sheniy, or Sheniy, which is the second book of Baruch, he just further convicts us of our idol worship and the things that we've done to anger Yahuwah, and the things that we've done to find ourselves in captivity and eventually crying out and wailing to Yahuwah. Our sons are killed in the streets. Our sons and daughters are killed, and nobody cares. Nobody does anything to remedy the killing. And it's not just them killing each other. It's the police, the government, just anybody from another nation that finds our people. They hate our people. They hate Yasharel, period. Mm-hmm. And that's what he told us would happen. And so that's it's a proven fact that it happens over and over. And then we cry out and we wail to Yahuwah, and he sends us salvation. He saves us. So that's what the second book of Baruch is about. And then he goes further to let Baruch know how he's going to deal with the other nations for the way that they've gone overboard and above and beyond what he told them to do for our punishment. That's what he said. That's why he says that Edom will be judged, because they hate us forever. And, that's proven because before Isaac died, before Yitzchak died, he made Esau and Jacob make a covenant, and they followed that covenant. Esau even followed that covenant, and that was to not bother each other, not hate each other, not do anything to cause harm to one another. But the sons of Esau, they didn't want to do that. They were mad with Jacob and his sons because they got the birthright. Before Isaac died, he gave Esau a blessing. He blessed Esau. It's in the book of Jubilees. It's in the book of Jasher. Before he passed away, Esau and Jacob were reconciled. And Isaac spoke a blessing over Esau, and Esau said, no, I gave my blessing. I sold my blessing to Jacob for a bowl of soup, a bowl of beans or whatever. And I mean, that's what Esau said when Isaac blessed him. And so that was to say that I know I'm accountable and I take responsibility for my foolishness. That's what that said to his father before his father passed away. And then he made them swear and cut a covenant to say that they wouldn't bother each other or cause each other any harm, them nor their children. And they swore. And Esau, well, Jacob, not only did Jacob keep his end of the bargain, Esau did, until his sons were told about the history of their dad and Jacob, and how Jacob, since he was the younger son, had the birthright instead of Esau. And so they incited their father to, it took a lot. I can say that it took a lot from what I read and what was revealed to me. It took a lot. They kept bothering him. They kept, they said, okay, if you don't want to do it, we'll just go and do it. And he said, no, my sons, don't do that. Don't bother them, because we've cut a covenant. And once you cut a covenant with Yahuwah, when you cut a covenant with your forefathers, it's a damnable thing to break it. I mean, he tried to explain that to them, and they weren't having it. They wanted to fight. They got beat up. They a bunch of them got killed, and nothing happened. Jacob's sons, none of them were injured or anything. None of them were injured during the fight. A bunch of Esau's sons got killed because he finally joined in with them and said, yeah, y'all are right. Y'all should have the blessing that Jacob's sons have, because I'm the oldest and it was my birthright. After he had already admitted that it was his own fault that he lost his birthright. And it was already ordained. It was already ordained when they were in the womb of Rebecca, because she said, why am I like this? If everything's okay with my children that I'm carrying, why am I like this? Why am I in pain? Why do they struggle in my womb? And Yahuwah told her, because you have two nations in your belly, and the older will serve the younger. Once that's said, what can you do about it? Nothing. So, anyway, that's why, later on, because Esau, one thing he wasn't supposed to do was join with the other nations, and that's why he became Edom, because he joined with Edom. He joined with Edom. He joined with all the surrounding nations, the Greeks, the Romans, the Philistines, the whoever was around. He joined with them, and he even made them kings over him. He didn't choose anybody from his own bloodline to be a king over him, not even his sons or anything. They chose people from the other nations to be kings over them. So anyway, that's how he became Edom. And that's why he hates us. He hates Yasharel to this day, because we're Jacob's children. We're of the house of David. The house of David and the house of Jacob. So, Baruch further convicts us, and then he gives us the visions that he's seen, that Yahuwah showed him when he took him up to the third heaven. And he also told him how he would restore Yasharel in the end. And so that's what I'm going to be reading tonight. And it came to pass in the 25th year of Yechanyahu, king of Yahudah, that the word of Yahuwah came to Baruch, the son of Neriyahu, and said to him, have you seen what these people are doing to me? That the evils which these 2 tribes which remained have done are greater than those of the 10 tribes which were carried away captive. For the former tribes were forced by their kings to commit sins. See here. The former tribes were forced by their kings to commit sin, but these 2 of themselves have been forcing and compelling their kings to commit sin. For this reason, behold, I bring evil upon this city and upon its inhabitants, and it shall be removed from before me for a time. And I will scatter this people among the other nations, that they may do good to the other nations. And no matter what anybody says, we did good to America. Our forefathers that were brought over here on ships, and that descended from those who were brought over here on ships, did good to America. We built everything in America. We invented everything in America. Everything. We built everything. The White House, the very White House. And my people shall be chastened, and the time shall come when they will seek for the prosperity of their times. For I have said these things to you, that you may bid Yirmiyahu, that's Jeremiah, and all those that are like you to retire from the city. For your works are to this city as a firm pillar, and your prayers as a strong wall. And I said, O Yahuwah my Adonai, have I come into the world for this purpose, that I might see the evils of my mother? Not so, my Adonai. If I have found grace in your sight, first take my Ruach, that I may go to my fathers and not behold the destruction of my mother. For 2 things vehemently constrain me, for I cannot resist you, and my soul, moreover, cannot behold the evils of my mother. But one thing I will say in your presence, O Yahuwah. What therefore shall there be after these things? For if you destroy your city and deliver up your land to those that hate us, how shall the name of Yasharel be again remembered? Or how shall one speak of your praises? Or to whom shall that which is in your Torah be explained? See, we're the ones that are supposed to explain the Torah to the other nations. That's the reason why Yahuwah chose us. That's what he chose us for. To preach the gospel, the Torah. Or shall the world return to its nature of aforetime and the age revert to primeval silence? Because there was a time, before Enoch, that they didn't call on the name of Yahuwah. They forgot who he was. Because in Enoch, it tells us that during the time of Enoch is when men began to call on the name of the Lord again. Call on the name of Yahuwah again. And Enoch called out to the people and said, is there anyone who wants to learn about Yahuwah? If so, come and I will teach you. So he's asking him, if you destroy us off the land, then who is going to teach the people about you? The world will return to its nature of primeval silence. And shall the multitude of souls be taken away, and the nature of man not again be named? And where is all that which you did say to Moshe regarding us? And Yahuwah said unto me, this city shall be delivered up for a time, and the people shall be chastened during a time, and the world will not be given over to oblivion. Do you think that this is that city of which I said, on the palms of my hands have I graven you? This building now built in your midst is not that which is revealed with me. It's better. Eyes have not seen and ears have not heard what he has for those who love him. On the palm of, okay. Do you think that this is the city of which I said, on the palms of my hand I have graven you? This building now built in your midst is not that which is revealed with me, that which was prepared beforehand here from the time when I took counsel to make paradise and showed it to Adam before he sinned. But when he transgressed the commandment, it was removed from him, as also paradise. And after these things, I showed it to my servant Avraham by night among the portions of the victims. And again also I showed it to Moshe on Mount Sinai. Then I showed him the likeness of the tabernacle and all its vessels. So the tabernacle that he had Moshe and the people after they were brought out of Egypt, at the tabernacle that he had them to build was just a model. It was just a model. And now behold, it is preserved with me, as also paradise. Go therefore and do as I command you. And I answered and said, So then am I destined to grieve for Sion? For your enemies will come to this place and pollute your sanctuary and lead your inheritance into captivity and make themselves Adonim of those which you have loved. And they will depart again to the place of their idols and will boast before them. And what will you do for your great name? Have mercy on us, Father Yahuwah, for the glory of your name. And Yahuwah said unto me, my name and my glory are unto all eternity, and my judgment shall maintain its right in its own time. And you shall see with your eyes that the enemy will not overthrow Sion, nor shall they burn Yerushalayim, but be the ministers of the judge for a time. We're all just tools in the hands of Yahuwah. The other nations are tools in the hands of Yahuwah, like we are. Like we are his threshing tool. He can use them also. And it says right here, you shall not see with your eyes that the enemy will not, you shall see with your eyes that the enemy will not overthrow Zion, nor shall they burn Yerushalayim, but be the ministers of the judge for a time. But do go and do whatsoever I have said unto you. And I went and took Yirmeyahu and Adu and Sariyahu and Yavish and Gadoyahu and all the honorable men of the people, and I led them to the valley of Kidron, and I narrated to them all that had been said to me. And they lifted up their voice, and they wept, and we sat there and fasted until evening. And it came to pass on the morrow that, lo, the army of the Kasdim, the Romans, surrounded the city. And at that time of evening, I, Baruch, left the people, and I went forth and stood by the oak. And I was grieving over Zion and lamenting over the captivity which had come upon the people. And lo, suddenly a strong ruach raised me and bore me aloft over the wall of Yerushalayim. And I beheld, and lo, 4 angels standing at the 4 corners of the city, each of them holding a torch of fire in his hands. And another angel began to descend from heaven and said unto them, hold your lamps and do not light them until I tell you. For I am first sent to speak a word to the earth and to place in it what Yahuwah Sabaoth has commanded me. And I saw him descend into the Holy of Holies and take from thence the veil and the holy ark and the mercy seat and the 2 tablets and the holy raiment of the priests and the altar of incense, and the 48 precious stones wherewith the priest was adorned, and all the holy vessels of the tabernacle. And he spoke to the earth with a loud voice, earth, 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 hear the word of Elohim, and receive that which I commit to you, and guard them until the last times, so that when you are ordered, you may restore them, so that the strangers may not get possession of them. For the time comes when Yerushalayim also will be delivered for a time, until it is said that it is again restored forever. And the earth opened up his mouth and swallowed them up. So what they have now, what they call the Ark of the Covenant now, wherever it is supposed to be in the Vatican, I guess, is a fake. It's not real. The holy ark and the mercy seat and the 2 tables and the holy raiment of the priest and the altar of incense and the 48 precious stones wherewith the priest was adorned, and all the holy vessels of the tabernacle are in the earth, hidden until the last times. 7. And after these things I heard that angel saying unto those angels who held the lamps, destroy therefore and overthrow its walls to its foundation, lest the enemy should boast and say, we have overthrown the wall of Zion, and we have burnt the place of Elohim, and ye have seized the place where I had been standing before. Now the angels did as he commanded them. And when they had broken up the corners of the walls, a voice was heard from the interior of the temple after the wall had fallen, saying, Enter, ye enemies, and come, ye adversaries, for he who kept the house has forsaken it. And I, Baruch, departed. And it came to pass after these things that the army of the Kasdim entered and seized the house and all that was around it. And they led the people away captive, and they slew some of them, and bound Zedekiah the king, and sent him to the king of Babel. And I, Baruch, came, and Yermayahu, whose heart was found pure from sins, who had not been captured in the seizure of the city. And we rent our garments, we wept and mourned and fasted for 7 days. And it came to pass after 7 days that the word of Elohim came to me and said unto me, Tell Yermayahu to go and support the captivity of the people unto Babel, but do remain here amid the desolation of Sion. And I will show to you after these days that which will befall at the end days. And I said to Yermayahu, as Yahuwah commanded me. And he indeed departed with the people, but I, Baruch, returned and sat before the gates of the temple. And I lamented with the following lamentation over Sion, and said, Blessed is he who was not born, or he who being born has died. But as for us who live, woe unto us, because we see the afflictions of Zion, and what has befallen Yerushalayim. I will call the sirens from the sea, and ye lilian, come ye from the desert, and ye shadim, and dragons from the forest. Awake and gird up your loins unto morning, and take up with me the dirges, and make lamentation with me. Ye husbandmen, sow not again, and O earth, wherefore give you your harvest fruits? Keep within you the sweets of your sustenance. And you vine, why further do you give your wine? For an offering will not be made again therefrom in Sion, nor will the first fruits be offered again. And do ye, O heavens, withhold your dew, and open not the treasuries of rain. And do, O sun, withhold the light of your rays. And do, O moon, extinguish the multitude of your light. For why should light rise again where the light of Zion is darkened? You see how Baruch, he laments. And you bridegrooms, enter not in, and let not the brides adorn themselves with garlands. And ye women, pray not that ye may bear, for the barren shall above all rejoice, and those who have no sons shall be glad, and those who have sons shall have anguish. For why should they bear in pain, only to bury in grief? Or why again should mankind have sons? Or why should the seed of their kind again be named, where this mother is desolate, and her sons are led away into captivity? From this time forward, speak not of beauty, and discourse not of gratefulness. Moreover, ye priests, take ye the keys of the sanctuary, and cast them into the heights of heaven, and give them to Yahuwah, and say, Guard your house yourself, for lo, we are found false stewards. And you, ye virgins, who weave fine linen and silk with gold of Ophir, take with haste all these things, and cast them into the fire, that it may bear them to him who made them. And the flame send them to him who created them, lest the enemy get possession of them. Moreover, I, Baruch, say this against you, Babel. If you had prospered, and Sion had dwelt in her glory, yet the grief to us had been great, that you should be equal to Zion. But now, lo, the grief is infinite, and the lamentation measureless, for lo, you are prospered, and Sion is desolate. Who will judge regarding these things? Or who shall we complain to regarding that which has befallen us? O Yahuwah, how have you borne it? Our fathers went to rest without grief, and lo, the righteous sleep in the earth in tranquility, for they knew not this anguish, nor yet had they heard of that which had befallen us. Would that you had ears, O earth, and that you had a heart, O dust, that ye might go and announce it to Sheol, and say to the dead, Blessed are ye more than we who live. But I will say this as I think, and I will speak against you, O land, which are prospering. The noonday does not always burn, nor do the rains of sun constantly give light. Do not expect and hope that you will always be prosperous and rejoicing, and be not greatly uplifted and boastful. For assuredly, in its own season shall the divine wrath awake against you, which now in long suffering is held in as it were by rains. And when I had said these things, I fasted 7 days. And it came to pass after these things that I, Baruch, was standing upon Mount Sion, and lo, a voice came from the height and said unto me, Stand upon your feet, Baruch, and hear the word of Elohim. Because you have been astonished at what has befallen Sion, you shall therefore be assuredly preserved to the consummation of times, that you may be for a testimony. Hallelujah. And here it is. Here he is. Here he is. Here he is. He's probably here in the flesh like Enoch and like Ezekiel, like Elijah. But his sefer is preserved to the consummation of the times which we're in right now, that you may be for a testimony, so that if ever those prosperous cities say, Why has Elohim brought upon us this retribution? Listen. I know that a lot of people think this is a joke. Most people do. Even our own people. Even our own people that are stiff-necked and disobedient. But Yahuwah said to Jeremiah and all the prophets, before you go to them and speak my word, know that they're not going to listen to you. Know that they're going to ignore you. Know that they're going to run you out of the city and hate your guts because you speak my word. And Yahusha said a prophet is never honored in their hometown. A prophet is hated. He says that to every prophet. So for his judgment, he's explaining why he's judging the prosperous cities. Because we're at the consummation of times. If we were not at the consummation of times, these words wouldn't be spoken over these airways. Just because you ignore it doesn't mean that it's not the truth, that it's not going to happen. It's going to happen 10 times worse because you ignore it, because you're stiff-necked, because you don't believe it, because it's not important to you. If we weren't at the consummation of times, this testimony would not be coming forth. So that this testimony would not be coming forth, so that if ever those prosperous cities say, why has Elohim brought upon us this retribution? Say to them, you and those like you shall have seen this evil. This is the evil and retribution which is coming upon you and upon your people, and it is destined. Time that the nations may be thoroughly smitten. And then they shall say, and then they shall be in anguish. And if they say at that time, for how long? You will say to them, ye who have drunk the strained wine, drink ye also of its dregs. The judgment of the lofty one, who has no respect of persons. On this account, he had aforetime no mercy on his own sons, but afflicted them as his enemies because they sinned. Yasharel and the angels. Then therefore were they chastened that they might be sanctified. That's what correction does when you receive it. But whether you receive it or not, it's going to bring forth the righteousness that Yahuwah desires. Whether you receive it or not, the righteousness that Yahuwah desires will be brought forth at its appointed time when he says so. If you receive it, then your righteousness will be brought forth as Yahuwah desires. The righteousness that he desires will be brought forth in you and me. If we receive his correction. But now, ye peoples and nations, ye are guilty because you have always trodden down the earth and used the creation unrighteously. For I have always benefited you, and ye have always been ungrateful for the beneficence. It's a terrible thing to fall into the hands of an angry Elohim, the creator of the universe and everything in it. And I answered and said, lo, you have shown me the method of the times, and that which shall alter these things. And you have said unto me that the retribution that has been spoken of by you shall come upon the nations. And now I know that those who have sinned are many, and they have lived in prosperity and departed from the world, but that few nations will be left in those times, to whom those words shall be said which you did say. For what advantage is there in this, or what evil worse than what we have seen befall us are we to expect to see? But again I will speak in your presence. What have they profited who had knowledge before you, and have not walked in vanity as the rest of the nations, and have not said to the dead, give us life, but always feared you, and have not left your ways. And lo, they have been carried off, nor on their account have you had mercy on Zion. And if others did evil, it was due to Zion, that on account of the works of those who wrought good works, she should be forgiven, and should not be overwhelmed on account of the works of those who wrought unrighteousness. But who, O Yahuwah, my Adonai, will comprehend your judgment? Or who will search out the profoundness of your way? Or who will think out the weight of your path? Or who will be able to think out your incomprehensible counsel? Or who of those that are born have ever found the beginning or end of your wisdom? For we have all been made like a breath. For as the breath ascends involuntarily and again dies, so it is with the nature of men who depart not according to their own will, and know not what will befall them in the end. For the righteous justly hope for the end, and without fear depart from this habitation, because they have with you a store of works preserved and treasures. You see how Baruch is pleading with Yahuwah not to destroy his people, the sheep of his pasture. Baruch is pleading with Yahuwah even for the other nations, and especially for Zion, his eternal capital. On this account, also these without fear leave this world, and trusting with joy they hope to receive the world which you have promised them. But as for us, woe to us, who are also now shamefully entreated, and at that time look forward only to evils. But you know accurately what you have done by means of your servants, for we were not able to understand that which is good, as you are our Creator. But again I will speak in your presence, O Yahuwah my Adonai. When of old there was no world with its inhabitants, you did devise and speak with the word, and forthwith the works of creation stood before you. And you did say you would make for your world man as the administrator of your works, that it might be known that he was by no means made on account of the world, but the world was made on account of him. So that the things that we do that cause the earth to lament and to cry out to Yahuwah will never succeed against the earth. It's going to succeed against us, because the earth is going to abide for the future generations. It doesn't matter what you do. You will never be able to wipe out all his people as you intend to. You will never be able to destroy his earth as you intend to. And Yahuwah answered and said unto me, you are rightly astonished regarding the departure of man, but you have not judged well regarding the evils which befall those who sin. And as regards what you have said, that the righteous are carried off and the impious are prospered. And as regards what you have said, man knows not your judgment. On this account hear, and I will speak to you, and hearken, and I will cause you to hear my words. Man would not rightly have understood my judgment unless he had accepted the Torah, and I had instructed him in understanding. But now because he transgressed wittingly, yea, just on this ground, that he knows thereof, he shall be tormented. And as regards what you did say touching the righteous, that on account of them has this world come, so also again shall that which is to come on their accounts. For this world is to them a strife and a labor with much trouble, and that accordingly which is to come, a crown with great glory. And I answered and said, O Yahuwah my Adonai, lo, the years of this time are few and evil, and who is able in this little time to acquire that which is measureless? And Yahuwah answered and said unto me, with El Shaddai account is not taken of much time, nor of a few years. For what did it profit Adam that he lived 930 years and transgressed that which he was commanded? Therefore the multitude of time that he lived did not profit him, but brought death and cut off the years of those who were born from him. Or wherein did Moshe suffer loss, in that he lived only 120 years? And inasmuch as he was subject to him, who formed him, brought the Torah to the seed of Jacob, and lighted a lamp for the nation of Yasharel. And I answered and said, he that lighted has taken from the light, and there are but few that have imitated him. But those many whom he has lighted have taken from the darkness of Adam, and have not rejoiced in the light of the lamp. And I answered and said, I'm going to read 18 again. He that lighted has taken from the light, and there are but few that have imitated him. But those many whom he has lighted have taken from the darkness of Adam, and have not rejoiced in the light of the lamp. The Torah, Yahusha HaMashiach. And he answered and said unto me, wherefore at that time he appointed for them a covenant, and said, and before I go on, the Torah of Yahuwah is this whole, all these scriptures, everything, every salvation in these scriptures, every blessing, every law, every judgment is him teaching us right from wrong. Is him teaching us what happens when you do what he says, and what happens when you don't do what he says. This whole book is the book of the law. And Yahusha, when he came, when he laid his life down for us, he made it possible for us to follow the Torah, to follow the laws of Yahuwah. He made it possible. All of us in Yasharel and in the other nations, if they choose to, if they choose to cleave to Yahuwah. All through this book of the Old Testaments and even the lost books, the hidden books of the scriptures, all testify of right and wrong in Yahuwah's eyes. The creator of the world, he says what's right and wrong. The creator of the earth and the universe and everything in it, sovereign over all flesh. He's the one who determines right and wrong in this earth. It's all through this. It's all through here. Every verse, every chapter talks about what happens when you do right and what happens when you do wrong. There's a protagonist and an antagonist in every story. Where do you think it comes from? Books and stories that men make up. These are true. This is true. These people lived, and some of them still live. We're but a vapor. If Yahuwah says we live to be 1,000 years old, or we live until the consummation of times, even though the rest of those around us die at 70 or 80 years old, some of them, before they can even touch the ground, then that's what happens. Yahusha HaMashiach said, love. The whole Torah, the whole law of Moses can be summed up in one word: love. If you love people, you love your neighbor. That's a prayer. That's an instruction from Yahuwah. You love your neighbor as yourself. You love Yahuwah with all your heart, all your soul, and all yourself. And you love your neighbor as yourself. Baruch Sheniy, the King of all the earth, for giving us the spirit of love. When you love people, you're not going to break the law against them. When you love Yahuwah, you're not going to break his laws. It'll be written on your heart. That's what he means by circumcise your heart. His laws will be written on your heart. It's not that you can stand and recite all his laws. Yes, he said all things are permissible. That's what Paul said. All things are permissible, but they're not beneficiary. They don't benefit. Like eating pig, for example. When you find out that pigs eat dead bodies, and any country boy or country girl knows that if somebody is dead and you take them and throw them in a pig pen, that those pigs will eat that body. They'll get rid of it. That's what they're on the earth for, is to clean up the waste of the earth. Pig. That's why they're on the earth. It's to clean up the waste. And that includes dead human beings that are rotting and Stinking. So essentially, the reason why he doesn't want us eating them is because they're filthy. And not only are they filthy, if you eat them, you might as well be a cannibal. You might as well be a cannibal. I know there are pigs that are raised on farms where maybe they don't eat dead bodies. Maybe they don't feed them dead bodies. But the evil that is done in this earth, shrimp, shellfish at the bottom of the sea, they eat dead bodies. They clean up the waste of the water, the bodies of water. They clean up the waste. There's a dead body in there, which there are many. They clean it up. I mean, where do you think all the bodies of the flood went? And you can smack your lips at Yahoo and see if you don't get smacked in the mouth. Since you like to smack your lips. I might not do it, but he will. And then maybe if you receive it, then the righteousness that he desires will come forth in you. Since you won't receive it from your parents. Since you won't receive it from your elders. Since you won't receive it from his word, from the Torah. And when he smack you, you're not going to smack your lips no more, I promise. I bet you I won't. And he answered and said unto me, wherefore at the time he appointed for them a covenant and said, behold, I have placed before you life and death. And he called heaven and earth to witness against them. See? The Torah, behold, I have placed before you life and death. Choose life, that you may be blessed, you and your offspring. And he called heaven and earth to witness against them. For he knew that his time was but short, but that heaven and earth endure always. But after his death they sinned and transgressed, though they knew that they had the Torah reproving them. And the light in which nothing could err, also the spirits which testify, and me that testifies. Now regarding everything that is, it is I that judge. But do not take counsel in your soul regarding these things, nor afflict yourself because of those which have been. For now it is the consummation of time that should be considered, whether of business or of prosperity or of shame, and not the beginning thereof. Because if a man be prospered in his beginnings and shamefully entreated in his old age, he forgets all the prosperity that he had. And again, if a man is shamefully entreated in his beginnings, and at his end is prospered, he remembers not again his evil treatment. And again hearken, though each one had prospered all that time. All the time from the day on which death was decreed against those who transgress, and in his end was destroyed, in vain would have been everything. So again, choose life or death. I placed it before you, says Yahuwah. But judgment is coming upon the earth, and whoever chooses death will receive the fruit of it. Because this is not about religion. Keeping his commandments is not about religion at all. It's about life or death. It's about blessing or cursing. Therefore, behold, the days come, and the time shall hasten more than the former, and the seasons shall speed on more than those that are past, and the years shall pass more quickly than the present years. I read that one more time for those who don't believe it or think it's a joke or a game. Therefore, behold, the days come, and the time shall hasten more than the former, and the season shall speed on more than those that are past, and the years shall pass more quickly than the present years. Therefore have I now taken away Zion, that I may the more speedily visit the world in its season. Now therefore hold fast in your heart everything that I command you, and seal it in the recesses of your mind. And then will I show you the judgment of my might and my ways which are unsearchable. Go therefore and sanctify yourself 7 days, and eat no bread, nor drink water, nor speak to anyone. And afterwards come to that place, and I will reveal myself to you and speak true things to you. And I will give you commandment regarding the method of the times, for they are coming, and tarry not. I'll stop there, Father. You need to know, if you're at a point in life where you are not talking to people, where you're not able to talk to people, where you don't want to be involved in any kind of gatherings, you're not weird. There's nothing weird about you. It's because you're being called out. You're being separated from this world, from the wickedness. All the servants of Yahuwah are being sealed at this time. Our duty is not to mankind. Our duty is to Yahuwah. It's the whole duty of man to follow his will in this earth. It's the reason why he created us. The scepter of his kingdom, his threshing tool. It's the reason why he chose us. If you don't have a sefer, you should get one before they're not available anymore, so that you can understand the canon. Where do you think the Ruach HaKodesh comes from? The Ruach HaKodesh is wisdom. If you don't seek wisdom out, then you won't get it. And just because you ignorant, don't mean you won't be accountable. I'm still ignorant of some things. I'm not calling anybody ignorant. But if you don't want to learn the word of Yahuwah, if you don't want to learn his Torah, the whole duty of man, the reason why you were created in this earth, what else can you be? If you would rather seek out a party than to seek out wisdom, if you'd rather seek out a fleshly good time than to seek out wisdom, then you'll have your part. That's how you know. That's how you know. Wisdom is the Ruach HaKodesh. He gave us these scriptures for instructions. He gave us the prophets for instructions. He gave us the forefathers, our history, for instructions to know the customs that we should follow. Our customs, not the customs of the other nations. If you want to be a part of the other nations, then fine. That's between you and Yahuwah. If you don't seek out his wisdom, if you don't seek out his customs, then you definitely are a part of the other nations. So, congratulations again. But just know, as Baruch has said, it is the consummation of times, and this is the testament for the consummation of times. He told Baruch, "Go therefore and sanctify yourself 7 days, and eat no bread, nor drink water, nor speak to anyone. And afterwards come to that place, and I will reveal myself to you, and speak true things with you, and I will give you commandment regarding the method of times, for they are coming, and tarry not." I'll come back and read 21 if Yah is willing. I've read Baruch right on here. And it was the same as it is tonight. So, like I said, everyone has been sealed. The valley of decision is no more. We've all made our choice already. And it's evident in what we do with our time, the time that we have. Hosea is right after Baruch Sheniy. See, Hosea is in the canon. The word of Yahuwah that came unto Husha the son of Be'eri in the days of Uzziyahu, Yatam, Achaz, and Yechizkiyahu, kings of Yahuwah, and in the days of Yarovam, the son of Joash, king of Yasharel. The beginning of the word of Yahuwah by Husha, that's Hosea. And Yahuwah said to Husha, and go take you a woman of whoredoms and children of whoredoms. And this is for Yasharel. For the land has committed great whoredom, departing from Yahuwah. So he went and took Gomer, the daughter of Divlaim, which conceived and bore him a son. And Yahuwah said unto him, call his name Yisrael, for yet a little while, and I will avenge the blood of Yisrael upon the house of Yahu, and will cause to cease the kingdom of the house of Yasharel. And it will come to pass at that day that I will break the bow of Yasharel in the valley of Yisrael. And she conceived again and bore a daughter, and Elohim said unto him, call her name Lo Rukamah. For I will no longer have mercy upon the house of Yasharel, but I will utterly take them away. But I will have mercy upon the house of Yahudah, and will save them by Yahuwah Elohim, and will not save them by bow, nor sword, nor by battle, by horses, nor by horsemen. And when she had weaned Lo Rukamah, she conceived and bore a son. Then said Elohim, call his name Lo Ami, for ye are not my people, and I will not be your Elohim. Yet the number of the children of Yasharel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured or numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living El. Hallelujah. Has it not been said to us here where we are that we weren't his people? And now he has said to us that we are his people. Then shall the children of Yahudah and the children of Yasharel be gathered together and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come up out of the land, for great shall be the day of Israel. Say unto your brethren, Ami, and to your sisters, Rukamah, plead with your mother, plead, for she is not my woman, neither am I her man. Let her therefore put away her whoredoms out of her sight, and let her adulteries from between her breasts. Lest I strip her naked, and set her as in the day that she was born, and make her as a wilderness, and set her like a dry land, and slay her with thirst. And I will not have mercy upon her children, for they be the children of whoredoms. For their mother has played the harlot. For she has said, I will go after my lovers. They give me my bread and my water, my wool and my flax, my oil and my drink. Therefore, behold, I will hedge up your way with thorns and make a wall, that she shall not find her paths. And she shall follow after her lovers, but she shall not overtake them. And she shall seek them, but shall not find them. Then shall she say, I will go and return to my first man, for then it was better with me than it is now. For she did not know that I gave her grain and wine and oil, and multiplied her silver and gold, which they prepared for Baal. Therefore will I return and take away my grain in the time thereof, and my wine in the season thereof, and will recover my wool and my flax given to cover her nakedness. And now will I discover her lewdness in the sight of her lovers. And none shall deliver her out of my hand. And I will also cause all her mirth to cease, her feast days, her new moons, her Sabbaths, and all her solemn feasts. And I will destroy her vines and her fig trees, whereof she has said, these are my rewards that my lovers have given me. And I will make them a forest, and the beasts of the field shall eat them. And I will visit upon her the days of Baalim, wherein she burned incense to them. And she decked herself with earrings and her jewels, and she went after her lovers and forgot me, says Yahuwah. Therefore, behold, I will allure her, and bring her into the wilderness, and speak comfortably unto her. I will give her her vineyards from thence, and the valley of Achor, for a door of hope, and she shall sing there, as in the days of her youth, and as in the day when she came up out of the land of Mitzrayim. And it shall be at that day, says Yahuwah, that you shall call me Ishi, and no more call me Baali. We shall call him by his name. For those who say that it doesn't matter if we use his Hebrew name. That's what's said. Okay, it's not his Hebrew name, it's his name. Period. Father Yahuwah. And he says to call upon his name, and he will help us. And it shall be in that day, says Yahuwah, that you shall call me Ishi, and shall no more call me Baali. For I will take away the names of Baalim out of her mouth, and they shall no more be remembered by their name. And in that day will I cut a covenant for them with the beasts of the field, and with the fowls of heaven, and with the creeping things of the ground. And I will break the bow and the sword and the battle out of the earth, and will make them to lie down safely. And I will betroth you unto me forever. I will betroth you unto me in righteousness and in judgment and in loving kindness and in mercies. I will even betroth you unto me in faithfulness, and you shall know Yahuwah. And it shall come to pass in that day, I will hear, says Yahuwah, I will hear the heavens, and they shall hear the earth. And the earth shall hear the grain and the wine and the oil, and they shall hear Yisrael. And I will sow her unto me in the earth, and I will have mercy upon her that had not obtained mercy. And I will say unto them, which were not my people, you are my people. And they shall say, you are my Elohim. Unto thee shall I lift my soul, O Yah, I trust in thee. Let me not be ashamed, let not my enemies triumph over me. Let those who wait on thee never be ashamed. Let them that be ashamed who transgress without a cause, but teach me thy ways and show me thy paths. Lead me in thy truth and teach me. You're the Yah of my salvation. On thee do I wait all day. Forget not thy tender mercies and thy loving kindness way unto thee. Do I lift my soul, O Yah, I trust in thee. Let me not be ashamed, let not my enemies triumph over me. Let none that wait on thee be ashamed. Let them that be ashamed who transgress without a cause, but show me thy ways and teach me thy paths. Lead me in thy truth and teach me. You're the Yah of my salvation. On thee do I wait all day. Forget not thy tender mercies and thy loving kindness way unto thee. Do I lift my soul, O Yah, I trust in thee. Let me not be ashamed, let not my enemy triumph over me. Let those who wait on thee never be ashamed. Let those that be ashamed who transgress without a cause, but teach me thy ways and show me thy paths. Lead me in thy truth and teach me. You're the Yah of my salvation. On thee do I wait all day. Forget not thy tender mercies and thy loving kindness way. Thank you, Father Yah, for our brother Hezekiah who put those words to music. Beautiful. Shalom.